right, beautiful people. Welcome back to another amazing and impactful episode of the True Health Forever Podcast, where we try to live our best life through the lens of holistic health. I'm your host, Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, I have with me the corny, the beautiful, the curl-rific, the ring-popping, potluck shirt wearing, cargo pants, swag out. Please introduce yourself.
It's always funny to hear that because you wait for like a big ta-da, and then you go, please introduce yourself. What's up, party people? My name is Sinclair, aka the Health Nerd, and excited to join you on a Sunday afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So we'll get into a brief weekly check-in. Gotta check in on your vitals. We hope y'all are checking in on your own frequencies, your own vitals on a weekly basis. Like as you listen to this podcast on a daily or weekly, really check in with yourself. Be like, you know what, person, how am I? Person, how am I feeling right now? How are my frequencies? What goals am I working towards this week, this month, for the rest of this amazing 2020 year that we've been experiencing? It's just been nothing but positivity. But yeah, make sure that y'all definitely check in with yourselves. But Queen, check in with you. How you doing? How you feeling? What's going on?
Feeling pretty good. I feel like this week I was back on my energy levels were a little bit higher than they have been.
Nice.
So that's good. I feel like I was back on my grind a little bit more.
Any grind in particular? Like when you say back on your grind, which grind are you working towards?
Well, specifically for this week, back to I wanted to make sure that every day that I did some type of movement, some type of back on my
fitness grind.
Fitness, and not even so much fitness, but just moving your body every day.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily have to be running a mile, but there's one day where I was super sore, so I just did a little stretching and light workout. But yeah, back on. I feel good. I feel.
You look good.
Yeah, thanks, babe.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
You too.
You know what I'm saying? We trying to keep it funky in here. Thanks, appreciate it. More updates on your side week.
I'm still sore from the sprints that I did on Monday.
On Monday. Okay,
I'm sorry, that was Tuesday. Let me give myself a little bit
difference.
More credit.
Okay, 5-day recovery.
It was Tuesday, and I am still sore.
We are testing using collagen recently. We're not sure exactly yet if it's making a huge difference. We have each seen progressions, but we're not sure if it's because we upped how often we work out or if it's because of the collagen. So we'll see. Time will tell.
Right. Stay tuned.
Yeah. For me, week was pretty good. It was a busy week, and particularly today I'm tired. Shout out to friends. But I had a hell of a friend move yesterday and today. And yeah, moving is just energy.
It's a lot.
I was sweating this morning.
It's a lot. It's a workout.
Sweating.
It is a workout.
Yeah, fully. And drops of sweat were coming down. But yeah, shout out to friends. You know who you are. I'm not going to call you out because I don't know if it's positive or negative at this point of what I'm saying. But much love, appreciated. What else happened this week? I feel like some good Play Black Wall Street things are in the seed planting. We're not going to divulge those as of yet because I want to make sure it happens first. I think I historically have a what's it called?
Habit.
A habit. Thank you, Queen. I appreciate you. I have a habit of saying things before they happen, and sometimes they do happen, sometimes they don't. But either way, it's you want to slow down, let that seed plant, let it sprout, let maybe a piece of fruit come before you start telling people that you got apples. You have an apple.
Hey, world.
Right. At least have an apple before you tell people you have apples. So, but long story short, we appreciate y'all's support in Play Black Wall Street or Black Wall Street, the board game. Please keep supporting, keep telling your friends, keep telling your local bookstores and everyone else who you think should have this game. And we are definitely growing slowly but surely. Slowly.
We are growing slowly.
Boom. And we make up words. What's up? All words are made up. What's up? Anyway. All right, we good? We talk about the topic for today?
Let's do it.
All right, Queen, do you want to do it or do you want me to do it? Topic for the day.
Today, we are talking about morning routines.
Boom. So, without further ado, let's get into the episode. Before we get into it, I know we just did the transition and everything. So I had a...
Come on!
Yeah, my bad, but we're still cutting there. But I had a meeting with Jair. First of all, again, shout out to Jair, our production person. And he was like, yeah, you know, after you and the wife do the whoa. So I love that is a literal landmark. And it's after the whoa. Just put it in there.
Is it pre or post whoa?
Right. But morning routines. The routines of champions. The habits of billionaires, trillionaires, and impact influencers in communities. Let's get into it. So I know the Queen wants to go over like just the importance of it. Yeah, go ahead.
Like, why are we even talking about morning routines? This is not the first time we've talked about morning routines on the podcast, so it must be very important. And so, like, for me, you know, I like the science. I'm the analytical. So
that she is.
I like to research why. Why is a morning routine important? For a couple of reasons. One, this is something, I mean, these are not like new things I'm sure I'm going to share. We've all probably experienced this. You make better decisions in the morning generally because you have not been influenced by the world. You have not seen the McGriddle on the McDonald's billboard. You have not seen the Postmates commercial where they ask you,
when you want all you can fried chicken is close or something.
Yeah! When all you can think about it, when all you can pad thai is think about. I love those things.
Yeah. I see you marketing team at Postmates. We see.
Right. But you haven't seen all of that yet. So you wake up, you have your intentions on this is what I want today to look like. This is what, hopefully you have some type of intentions. This is what I want to do today. And you act on it, right? There's not as many barriers in your way to go ahead and act on what you want to do. The further you go out throughout the day, you're at work now. Somebody stops you on your way to the water cooler or whatever. Now you're not getting your water. Whatever it is. But we are influenced by so many different things once we go about our day. Especially once you leave your house. Then God knows. But long story short, your willpower is highest right when you wake up. So that's why I think it is very important to do some very intentional things to set up your mind, your body, your spirit, to set all that up for success for the day. Because again, you are more likely to accomplish a morning routine than you are, for me, than for a nightly routine. I've tried to come up with a nightly routine. It lasts like a couple of days, and then
you're like used to like, oh, I'm gonna drink my tea and I'm gonna read, and it's like, yeah, I'm too tired.
I'm going to bed. Like this is the barrier between me and the bed.
Yeah.
If I'm ready for bed, I'm just gonna jump in the bed. So that's why I'm much better about sticking to a morning routine than I am to any other type of routine.
Same.
But yeah. And then like there is also scientific like research that shows there are things like circadian rhythms, which I've talked about. Sounds really fancy. All it means is that there are environmental cues. So when the sun is up, right, your body it sees the vitamin D, it feels that vitamin D, it knows the sun is up. There are certain things that it wants to do and that it expects. Versus when the sun goes down, right, there are hormone levels that respond to that when there's no more light. There are your melatonin goes up. Like there are hormonal things that happen that make you more tired. And so all of these things are kind of cues to where your body knows roughly what time it is without you having to tell it. If you were to go throughout the whole day without looking at a clock, I mean, sure, you wouldn't know to the minute what time it is, but I'm sure you could be able to tell, like, it's probably...
It's bedtime.
Right, it's right, and a lot of it is around, like, eating time. Like, okay, it's about the time I would be eating, so it's probably 8 o'clock or whatever time you eat in the morning, if you eat in the morning. But I know for me, like, it would be like, all right, when my stomach starts growling, I'm like, all right, it's probably somewhere between 11 and 12 or 11 and 1.
Between 11 a.m. and 12 a.m. is when it's time.
12 p.m.
No, I said a.m. When our stomach growls, it growls all the time. we fast. Like, we're hungry most of the time, except for at night.
That's not true, because I feel like normally when I wake up, right, when I first wake up, your stomach is growling right when you wake up?
11 a.m. to 12 a.m.
Long story short, your circadian rhythm makes it so.
Go back to your big words. There you go. Circadian rhythm, yes.
Makes it so. In the morning time, this is the best thing to get in your workout. There's also science that shows, shout out to Sean Stevenson, shows that people who work out in the morning are more likely to get better sleep at night and to actually go more efficiently through their sleep cycles. So there's a lot of different things that show if you make healthier choices at the beginning of the day, you're most likely to stick to making healthy choices at the beginning of the day. To where if you wake up and you eat your whatever is a healthy, unhealthy breakfast.
McGriddle.
Sure.
We already said
we did say that. If you wake up and you stop by the McDonald's to make your McGriddle, then you're most likely to get distracted for lunch and dinner as well. And, kind of veer off of whatever course you set yourself on for the day. But what's your experience with why you think a morning routine is good, in the morning specifically?
So, I want to win as soon as possible. I want my body, my mind, my soul to feel a victory as soon as possible. That way I can go the rest of my day with a winning mentality. So if you're able to win the morning, if you're able to conquer the morning, if you say every morning I'm going to do, this is one of mine, 100 push-ups, and you wake up, you do your 100 push-ups, boom, already I feel like I just won. Already I feel disciplined.
Right.
And another, sometimes, probably 5 days out the week, I go on a run, and I go buy a Starbucks. No shade to anyone who is addicted or uses Starbucks on a consistent basis.
Say uses Starbucks,
but
not even just drink Starbucks. He uses Starbucks.
Yes, caffeine is a drug. So anyone who uses or does their thing, no shade to y'all. But every morning I run by the Starbucks, and I feel like it is a sense of empowerment to see all these people who are kind of in line for lack of better words, a drug, or for their coffee, and their morning is already dependent on someone else.
Right.
Like, depending on how long that line is, depending on how many orders the person in front of them had, maybe the person making their cappuccino in the morning messed up, didn't put enough pumps, and enough pumps of whatever you need. So it's like your morning is literally dependent on so many other people's performance and what they want to do that day. Whereas if you have a morning routine that you're 100% in charge of, it's like you can control that win at the end of the day. So yeah, that's why I like it. I feel like morning routines for me are kind of hit or miss. Like, I used to hit or miss as far as how often I do them. Right now I'm in a really good wave of my morning routine, and we'll go into our morning routines in a second. But back in the day when I used to live with Grandy, shout out to Grandy, my morning routine was pretty good, pretty structured. I would wake up and do kind of something similar I do right now. Lost a lot of weight. I was very focused in business. My finances were right. So I just feel like, most times when I have a good morning routine, I stick to it. Everything else in life starts to fall into place.
Right.
The last thing that I'll say about morning routines is it also gives you a chance to really be selfish during that time. And I'll probably annoy the queen about how selfish I am with my morning routine, but sometimes she'll wake up, she'll come out and try to talk to me. I'm just like, not right now. I'm in the middle of my routine. Right now I'm zoomed in on Devon. I'm the most important person right now. I need to get these things done before I open myself up to the world, to my wife, and to other people. And I feel like that's very important because I feel like it's rare that we have the opportunity to do that.
Yeah.
At our jobs, very rare if you're an entrepreneur, very rare because you're always thinking about the customer.
If
you have kids, almost impossible. Shout out to JT. So it's like, it's just like there's not too many times where you can be 100% selfish and just think, okay, I want to think about myself and what actions do I need to make myself feel the most empowered and feel like a champion this morning. Those are mine.
Yeah, and yes, it is annoying when I have something that's like, ooh, it's right there. I've already been up for an hour and I want to tell you something. But I also respect that, that's your time. You're a very selfless person, so I'm like, I'll give him his selfish moments because he doesn't have too many of them. But you brought up a good point really quickly before we switch, is the winning early on in the day. Because there's also, just it builds a sense of confidence for the day. The fact that you said you're going to do something and you do it right from the get-go, it builds a confidence of like, well, what else can I say and do today? And it doesn't have to be 100 push-ups. Your girl ain't doing that every morning. But it can be something as simple as like, I am going to wake up and drink water every single day. And if you do that, it's like, okay, I did it. I did what I said I was going to do. It can be as simple as I'm going to make my bed as soon as I wake up. Like, that's a good one that actually not only can make your room look visually, cleaner, but that is, I don't even remember, it was another podcast I was listening to that like appeals to a sense of satisfaction within the brain. That can be good to set you up for the rest of the day.
Yes.
So,
all right, so let's get into our actual morning routines. All right, so Queen, I know you had a certain way you wanted to do this, so go ahead and map us out, please.
I just want to start with let's just go piece by piece. We have similar morning routines. They're not the same, but they're similar. So what is the first thing you do when you wake up? First thing.
First thing. So I'm gonna try not to be just annoying and say what I do, turn off my alarm.
Take a couple steps.
Yeah. Don't tell me I can be annoying, y'all, easily. That's funny. So I would say the first conscious active thing that I do is I go into the bathroom and I do my tongue scraper. So that's the first thing. And do you want to go into the second because it's still in the bathroom?
Sure.
And then the second thing is I smile at myself in the mirror.
Oh.
So I scrape my tongue, get off the pollutants, and the Queen taught me that. I had no idea that was important before, but I definitely feel the difference. It takes the pollutants out because your tongue acts as a filter system for you. So if you're able to scrape off that mesh, that dirty stuff, I do breathe a little bit better, and then obviously your mouth tastes better because you got that out the system.
Breath smells better.
Yeah, and then the smile in the morning is just, again, you want to get a win as soon as possible. So the first thing I do is, boom, purify myself, and then second, bring joy to myself. So those are the two things I start off with.
Is it weird that I really want to be a fly on the wall when you smile to yourself in the morning?
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but you're welcome to join me if you want to wake up at the same time tomorrow morning. Smile with me. Yeah.
I like that. So he's absolutely correct. Your tongue acts as a detoxifier.
Detoxifier.
Thank you. So whatever you see on your tongue, your body is trying to get rid of. So unless you actually get rid of it, a lot of us like to move around on our tongue. It's not actually getting rid of it. So that's why tongue scraper is helpful. For me, first thing I do is usually use the bathroom, because I usually have to. But after that is, I would like to say that tongue scraping is a consistent thing for me. It's not. Every now and then I will do it. It's not as consistent. But for me, the for sure first consistent thing that I do is I go grab a cup and I get a big glass of water. And I have gone back and forth for what I will enhance the water with. I used to just do water, and then I started doing water with lemon just to try to alkalize the body a little bit. And that basically, your body's pH is, it's ideally supposed to be around 7, but actually a little bit more alkaline than that. So if you give your body something to alkalize it, that puts it in its ideal state, basically, to fight off diseases, to fight off anything that it needs to do, and for it to just start its motors, its engines. So yeah, I used to do lemon. I switched to apple cider vinegar for a little bit. I think he still does apple cider vinegar. Now I do Organifi right in the beginning of the day. So that is a superfood concentrate powder. So it's got the moringa, ashwagandha, spirulina. So it's got a whole bunch of good stuff. But it's basically equivalent to juicing in the morning. But I'm doing it in a basically just dropping that in my water. That creates a little juice, nice big tall glass of that, and that usually will start my digestion, cleansing. That's basically what I'm trying to do there. But yeah, that's the first thing that I do is a big glass of Organifi.
Nice. All right. So second thing, or technically third thing, but second location now. My first location, bathroom. Second location is kitchen, and that's when I drink my water. And I think I got this from you, so and maybe we can give a back and forth on like tips on how we can tweak our morning routines. But I think you told me you should scrape first, because if you go drink water, you're basically drinking the pollutants.
Yeah.
So you want to make sure you try to scrape that off. That way, when you drink your water, it's that pure stuff.
Yep.
And I got the smile thing from 19 Keys. He's an influencer out there doing his thing, so y'all can follow 19 Keys. And I say his name because in my water, I do the gold water. And I also got that from 19 Keys. So in my water, big tall glass, just like the queen, I do some droplets of gold. You know what I'm talking about. Just get the body feeling royal in the morning. Get your win in the morning. You feel me? I'm out here drinking gold, y'all. Literally drinking gold. And it doesn't look like gold. It's the I don't know, you're probably better at saying this than I am, but it's like the chemical form of gold, so it looks like a bluish purple when it's in the water. But yeah, put that in there. That's good for the brain. Also good for just electricity, as our body transforms energy through electricity, just like regular energy. So if you're able to have more gold in there, your body can do that better and more efficiently. So put that in there and the apple cider vinegar, and I'll drink that while I do my 100 affirmations. And so I started this like a month ago. We started on the podcast, and I was like, I think I'm going to experiment with this. I'm still going strong, y'all.
Yes.
Still going strong. Sometimes it takes me like 30 to 40 minutes to get through all 100, but I do get all 100 done every morning. It's a mixture, again, between affirmations, saying, I am king, I am royal, I am a creator, and a mixture of things I want to accomplish. Like, we will sell 10,000 board games. Sinclair will be the #1 health coach in the world. I will be the #1 educator in the world. Like, just saying things that we want to accomplish as well. And yeah, that's my number 2 or second location.
Gotcha. My next one is similar to yours, and I actually was inspired to do mine based off of his 100 affirmations. I'm not doing 100. I do not have the patience nor time to do that every single morning. But I started off doing 10 affirmations. That's something I can do. Then I read somewhere on Instagram, it had a breakdown of suggested morning routines based on your personality. And so I looked at kind of my personality, and it suggested basically a brain dump. So I started transitioning into doing...
I love brain dumps. First of all, I love brain dumps.
Yeah,
just get out.
Because otherwise it just sits like in your brain and just kind of waiting for some type of release. So yes, I've started, since last week, I've started doing a brain dump instead, because... And it makes sense with my personality type. I wake up with so many things in my head. I don't know if it's based off of whatever happened the night before, if it's based off of if I dreamt.
A word. We make up words here. Don't worry about
it. I think. Or just like things that I'm inspired by. There's a lot of times where I will literally wake up with just like ideas, business ideas, personal, whatever, just ideas. So I do like the aspect of just bringing up whatever's in my head, just get it on paper, just get it out of my head. Because to me, at least what it feels like is I'm now clearing my head a little bit of the stuff, all the I don't want to say junk, it's not junk, but all of the stuff in there, I'm like kind of clearing it out of my system so that I can go on through the day and have new ideas and new thoughts, and so that has been helpful for me. So now I just do a brain dump, literally whatever's on my head. It can just be like, hey, yesterday you did really, really good job at doing your whole routine. Good job, keep it up.
Yes, I see you giving yourself words of affirmation.
I also go the other way. Sometimes I'll be like, you said you were gonna do this, you didn't do that. Make sure you do it today. Sometimes it's literally just observations about like, what's interesting. So it's been a little mixture of everything.
Do you review those ever?
No.
Is there a reason why you don't review them? Just like on a random Sunday, just like, let me see what are some interesting thoughts that I had, or ideas that I had.
So ideas I will put in my phone, because I do want to, if there's something that I want to go back to, I'll put that in my phone, because I know that's where that is. So I listened to this whole podcast on journaling. I don't remember which podcast it was, but there was a whole one on journaling. And what the woman was basically saying is that there is something different that happens when you're writing with the intention that nobody's going to see this, or I'm not going to go back to it. You write with more honesty. You write with less of like, I don't know, less of like I'm going back to this, less of that. So
it's less filtered. It's more stream of consciousness.
Right.
It makes sense.
So will I ever go back? I don't know, but I'm not planning to. So that when I do write, it is my honest thoughts that I'm getting out. Otherwise, I'm putting stuff on the paper. Sure, there could be thoughts in my head, but it's not really what's on my mind, and then that stuff just sticks there. And just kind of, it's like a little woodpecker on my brain, like, hey, this is what you're really thinking. So I feel like I want to be as honest as possible. So honestly, what this woman even suggested is like you write it out and then rip it up and throw it away right away, like flush it, whatever it is, so that it's not even a thought to go back to it. So everybody's different. But right now, I haven't thought about going back because it's like I got new thoughts every single day. It's not. I haven't. Like I said, if it's something that I want to remember, usually an idea or something, I have a place for that. I will put that somewhere. Other than that, it's just my thoughts, and I haven't thought to go back to them.
Gotcha.
So I'm focused on growth. So what I thought yesterday is not as important as what I would like to think about tomorrow.
My bad. Sorry to interrupt you, but you can keep on going. I was asking.
Oh, where was I?
You're journaling.
Yes. So now I do a brain dump, which helps kind of clear the mind. And then the other thing it suggested was a to-do list, which I'm still working on implementing, and then a focus activity. So for me, I'm jumping a little bit ahead, but my focus activity is meditation. So I like that sequence because, again, the brain dump allows me to kind of clear my mind, and then the meditation helps me focus so that whatever else I want to get accomplished for the day, I can really zoom in on that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So my next one, and again, hopefully y'all are taking, self-reflection notes and you're like going along with us and saying, okay, this is what I do first, this is what I do second. Oh, okay, I can change this. I need to throw away my journals every day or whatever.
And these are just what we do, right? Try different things. Think about tomorrow if you journal and you don't think about, I'm going back to this, does it feel a little bit more organic? Then okay, then try that method for a little bit, right? Nothing we're saying is this is the right or wrong way. These are just how we do it.
So after I do my 100 and I drink my water, then I move over to the gym fitness side. So I'll do my yoga for about usually no more than 10 minutes. I used to do a little bit longer, but then these 100 affirmations, y'all, take so much time. So I really don't have that much time after I do those. So I do my yoga for like 10 minutes, either do like something on core, hip flexors, upper body strength, and then 2 minutes of savasana, which is just like your meditation like the queen does. During meditation, I will either think of like what I need to accomplish for that day, just kind of start running a to-do list in my head. For some reason, that is calming to me to think about what I have to do, like the 1, 2, 3 things that's like do these and you're gonna win the day. Or I'll try to do a separation of my body and spirit where I see myself on the ground, but then I also see my spirit self above me. And then that spirit will then rise above the apartment, above everything, and be able just to see just the world at large. And for me, that gives me another calming a little bit, because I'm seeing that it's more than just me, the problems that I think are problems or the things that are stressing me out. Like there's a huge, much bigger picture. So those things are small and I shouldn't let those small things impact me, because there's a larger world out there. And then after I do my yoga, I'll do my 100 push-ups. Not straight. I do not do 100 push-ups straight, y'all. Usually it's like, not yet. Usually it's like 3 sets, 4 sets. If I'm just feeling completely lazy, it'll be 5 sets of push-ups. And then immediately after that is when I'll go off and I'll do my run, mile and a half run. On my way back, I do a little bit of toe raises. And while I'm running, I'm listening to an audiobook. So I feel like that was a lot at the same time. So going through it really quickly again. Yoga to calm me, center me, get my frequencies right. push-ups to activate my body, get my muscles right. And then I go on the run, and the run while listening to an audiobook is kind of both. One, it's obviously physical. Second, it's a little bit mental because I like just being out there. Again, just that real Devon time, being able to think a little bit. And then 2 or 3, whatever number, listening to the audiobook allows me to continue to learn while also not focusing on the fact that I'm running and I'm hurting right now. So it's a good distraction. So yeah, that's my number 3. And that might be the final. No, I have one more in my morning routine. So, off to you, Queen.
So for me, after I do my brain dump, is when I do my yoga meditation. And I've been really good at being consistent up until this point of my morning routine. And now I'm working on this last portion being consistent as possible. So then after my brain dump, I do yoga and meditation, so very similar to Devon. Do about, I think I upped it to 10 minutes. So I do 10 minutes of yoga. I like to focus on core. I usually like core, but every now and then I'll go either like stretching or glutes. It's usually like 10 minutes doing yoga, and that just gets the body nice and warm. And then I also do a 5-minute meditation session, which sometimes gets extended. I'll hear the person say like, "Oh, namaste, good job." But if I'm like, I'm not done yet, so I'll keep going. But what I focus on, and actually what I wanted to touch on, I find very interesting. We have like almost opposite meditation techniques. So the way Devon goes bigger and he goes outside of himself, and that makes him feel calming. To me, that would make me feel overwhelmed. So I go inside. I go as far inside.
Why the voice change?
As far inside of me as I possibly can, because I'm constantly thinking about all of these things. So I feel like it's a focus activity of just pick one thing to focus on, and that's a struggle for me, and that's why I like to do it. So I focus on my breathing, because it's absolutely something that I can control and that I have full control over. So I will, and I actually posted something on my Instagram the other day about box breaths. So if you want to learn some more about that, go check out my story, The Health Nerd.
With 3 E's.
With 3 E's.
Because we say the
for a reason. 3 E's. The Health Nerd was taken. I'm coming for you. No. But it's basically a technique where you breathe in for the same amount of seconds. So for to make it easy, let's say 5 seconds. All right. You breathe in for 5 seconds. You hold for 5 seconds. You release for 5 seconds. And actually doing my research this week, learned that there is I was wondering, like, they call it box. There's usually four parts to it. And you're actually supposed to pause and hold again after that for another 5 seconds. That's the hardest part, honestly, that I've tried.
Does it have to be 5, or it just has to be equal? Just
equal. So I mean, if you're trying it for the first time, try 4. And even if that's too hard, try 3. But 4 seconds. 2, really? That's normal breaths at that point.
True, but I feel like this the concentration of it changes it. I feel like, yes, you breathe on day to day, but that's all subconscious. Like, you're not thinking about that. So if you're laying down and you're actively thinking about it, I think obviously 5, 4. I think the more challenging, maybe it's the better. But at the end of the day, it's just about that consistency.
Yes, for part of it. So for the focus part of it, yes. But there is actually something that you trigger with deep, slow breaths that I don't believe that you'll be able to trigger with only 2 seconds of breaths. So yes, to start out, like if you want to start off with a 1 second, like do that, and then slowly increase. But the point is that you're eventually getting to the point where you are taking, like, my stretch goal, and like what I try to do, like when I'm feeling like, well, this is a good day, my breaths are good, let's go for it, is 8 seconds. Sheesh. And so you are breathing in.
Out here, you an Olympic swimmer out here.
I can't do the holding for 8 seconds afterwards. So I have not got to the point where I can do that yet. But I can breathe in for 8 seconds, hold for 8 seconds, and breathe out for 8 seconds. If you do that for I don't do that for long, but like 5 minutes, there is something physical that you feel different in your body.
You feel lightheaded.
Yeah. No, not lightheaded. This guy. So you're triggering the parasympathetic nervous system. Basically, that is what relaxes you. That is like your relaxation trigger, okay? So you are triggering that through breathing. So between that and I will literally like go body part by body part or like section by section. And while I'm doing those breaths, or I will kind of alternate between doing the box breaths and just focusing on making my body feel heavy. Meaning like basically relaxing everything. Because there's sometimes even when I'm breathing, like if I'm holding, sometimes I realize that I'm tensing while I'm holding. Mm-hmm. And that's part of for me, that's the biggest struggle. It's like I want to hold my breath while still like being relaxed. Otherwise it defeats the purpose. Mm-hmm. So I make my body heavy and I do the box breaths. And oh man, the other day, I'm telling you, I did one and I wish I could just like put the feeling in someone else's body of like, it just feels like, it's like kind of like at first it's kind of like a really like heavy like draining feeling, but then like after a while it just turns into this like I'm so calm, like I get like the zen, like I go into like zen mode, and of course it doesn't last forever, but starting the day later. No, it's not 30 seconds, it'll last for some time, but starting the day at that point makes it so that the rest of the day when things happen I'm not like, oh my gosh, you just cut me off, flipping you off like I normally probably would be. So yeah, it's a noticeable difference of just like I'm so calm right now and I need that because I'm a person who, may overreact a little bit, tends to get a little anxious about things. So
I never noticed that about you before.
So it does help someone like me. So if you were relating to what I'm saying, try the box breath method. It is very helpful to be in that like zen state at the beginning of the day. So yeah, I did want to touch on that. But different methods of meditation. Try what works for you. For me, it's going all the way within, and like I will literally like picture my lungs going inside and out. Whereas him, he's going, I'm seeing all of LA or all of the globe, whatever it is. So interesting. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of my everyday morning routine. And then after that, I usually try to work out, but the workout will depend on whether I am also going outside to do a little walk or a run or sprints, but I'll usually be also listening to some type of personal development podcast or audiobook or something like that. So, yeah.
And then for me, my last part is drinking my cup of Organifi. So I drink my water, apple cider vinegar with my gold all up in it, you know what I'm saying? My royal little thing. But then after my workout, after I get back from my run, then I drink my Organifi. And then, sometimes this is in the early part, sometimes in the later part, but at some point in my morning routine, I'll say good morning to the queen, give her a little kiss, a little sugar, mwah, mwah, a little something. And then that completes my morning routine.
We hug.
And we hug. Yes, we hold that hug. It's a good one. It's always a good one. I just imagined it in my head. Yeah. And then, that's in the afternoon. So yeah, that's the morning routine. So in the next segment, I want to kind of just get into tips that we have for folks that are creating their own morning routine, and then also just things that we've noticed in our morning routine that maybe we want to tweak a little bit. We've kind of already done that, but we can do that officially in this next segment coming up. All right, we're back. So Queen, talk to me. Give the amazing, beautiful, health-conscious, amazing folks out there who are listening and watching some advice on how to create their own personal morning routine.
As usual, I will suggest do not try to do everything at once. This is something, both of our morning routines have been a work in progress. We didn't just start, I'm like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, and this, and this. I work into it. So start with one thing. So if it's going to be journaling, great. Just like for the next week, wake up every day and focus on doing your 10 affirmations, doing your brain dump, doing your 5-minute journal prompt, answering your questions, whatever it is that you want to do. Focus on that. If it's going to be drinking your water, great. Focus on drinking your water. And I mean, like, if you want to do drinking your water and journaling, like, okay, I think those are two things that you can do at once. But basically just don't try to tackle everything at once, because you want to do something that's going to be sustainable, one. Thank you. Mm-hmm. But two, it's a journey, right? Part of I don't want to say the fun, but it is fun. Part of the fun of building your health regimen is building it, is figuring out what is going to work for you and what doesn't. So there is going to be some experimentation. So don't be afraid. If you see something, don't just put it off right away, like, that's not going to work for me. Meditation, I can't clear my mind. That's not what meditation is. But also, don't just put it off, right away. Experiment a little bit. Don't be afraid to try it. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'd say that's my first thing is pick one or two things to start with, and experiment.
And I would say a few things. All right, I love the sustainability part, because that was one of the tips I wanted to give. Please make sure you pick something that you can do every single day, no matter what. And it's up to you to really be, disciplined enough to say, I'm going to do this every day, no matter what. I don't put a time frame on my morning routine. So I don't say I'm going to wake up at 7 a.m., drink my water, smile at myself, and go on a run. I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m., 8 a.m. I don't put a time on it. But it's like, if I have a meeting for work at 8:30, I know I need to wake up at 7:30 to get or probably 7, to get my morning routine done before 8:30. I've had meetings at 7 a.m. and it's like, gosh, I gotta wake up at 5 right now to get this done. But I think on those days where it's challenging, on those days where it's like, wow, I'm really going out my way to do this for myself, gives me that extra sense of a win, that extra sense of discipline, that extra sense of not everyone has this same discipline. And I know there's goals that I personally have that it's like, okay, if I want to get that goal done, I need to be doing things that not everyone else is doing. So I highly encourage you to pick a morning routine and be disciplined enough to be able to manage your own time, manage your own energy, and get that stuff done that you said you wanted to do. That would be my number one thing. Just, if you say you're going to do it, keep it simple, drink water, journal, cool, but keep that promise to yourself. Mm-hmm. And then if you want to make the conscious decision to say, I'm now going to shift my morning routine, that's perfectly fine. But if you just wake up one day and you're like, man, I don't feel like doing it, that's not it.
That's not a shift.
No, that's not a shift. You got to fight that urge, because your body, your mind will be like, oh, sleep in a little bit longer. Forget that morning routine. Drink coffee instead of water first thing in the morning. Frown at yourself. Like your body will play tricks on you. So if you have your morning routine, consciously stick to it until you consciously shift away from it, is what I would say.
And just one more point that I want to draw on that you said is make it you have to be disciplined to know what you are going to stick to, right? Mm-hmm. So he does 100 affirmations. At no point did I ever say, I'm the person that's going to wake up and do 100 affirmations.
I've never seen you
use. Because I know myself, and I know that would be something that I would do once to say that I did it, and then be like, yeah, I'm not. Mm. So that's why I said 10 at first, right? Be realistic with yourself. Don't just, Devon does not want to be like Devon, so I'm going to do 100. Like, if you can't do 100, don't say you're going to do 100.
All right, not everyone can keep up with Truvel. It's all good. You have your own thing, your own race to win, and you first place in that race. You feel me? I could say something. So it's interesting because, again, your body, your mind will play tricks on you. There's been times where it's like, Devon, listen, player, you ain't even got to do the full 100. No one's gonna read this journal, Devon. Just do 10. Just do 20. Shoot, just do 50 and be done. But on those days, like, yeah, it's just, there's something in my mind that just, it feels incomplete now because it's so much apart, and I've been doing it for a solid 30 days now. I can check the journal, but it just feels like when I do less than that, I'm already cheating myself. Same thing with the push-ups. Like, there's been times where it's like, I'll be like, 88, 89, oh, I couldn't make it to 100. Listen here, player. No one will know you didn't get to 100. You can stop right now. Yes, little double right here with a McGriddle, a Big Mac, and a chocolate shake. And I don't even like chocolate. So, yeah, you have to make sure, again, that you're able to have the the mental strength and the discipline to do it because you said so. And again, for me personally, like, I'll feel like I cheated myself if I didn't do it. So there'll be times where it's like, I'll get up, I'll walk away. It's like, no, you didn't do the 100. And I'll go back and do my last 10. And it's like, all right, for sure, I did it. So yeah, stick to it. Doesn't have to be anything grandiose, but if you say you're gonna drink water every morning, cool. Drink the water. That's good. That's discipline enough. That's gonna be a challenge in itself, believe me. Anything you want to change about your morning routine? We're in the final stages right now. Thanks for rocking with us, y'all. We appreciate it. Hopefully you got some nuggets along the way. I'm really just stalling so that Sinclair can figure out if she has anything that she wants to change.
I feel like I have already kind of shifted what I wanted to shift. I feel like the 10 affirmations for me was cool, but I like to shift to the brain dump. I feel like the brain dump is a little bit more effective. I'm not sure. I may switch again what I'm putting in my water. I may go back to lemon or apple cider vinegar and save the Organifi for later. These are very small things. At the end of the day, for me, I need to work on the discipline part of it. So I'm actually trying not to change it too often, so that I can get to stick to it. Because that's my struggle, is the sticking to it part. So no, there's not really much that I want to change. I just need to stick to it.
Gotcha. For me, I need to get more focused when I write my 100 affirmations. We talked about this the other day, but it will take me like 45 minutes, not because it takes long to write them out, like they're quick sentences, but if I write a goal that I want to achieve down, then my mind starts to go towards that goal, and I start envisioning what that looks like. If we are able to get a property in Chicago, we're able to do this, this, and this, so then it's like, I just start daydreaming, and it's bad. And I feel like because it's early in the morning and I'm already half awake, like it's very easy for my mind to go in and out of these different dreams. So I think I need to get better at, just focusing and hammering that out the 100, kind of like standards when I used to get standards in elementary school and middle school, like just crank them out, just say them. Because I want more time to be able to actually write during the morning. I did that for like the first few weeks I did this new morning routine, but I was waking up like much earlier to have time to write. But I've lacked off on that part, so I want to kind of get back to getting my affirmations done in like 20 minutes. That way I have just 10 minutes to write something. And by write something, I mean like work on a comic, work on a children's book, work on a novel, work on a screenplay, like write something creative that can be produced. Gotcha. All right. Woo! Morning routines of champions. Morning routines of royalty, of billionaires, of community activists, of change agents in the universe that we all live in. Make sure y'all create your morning routines, y'all. Okay? Thank y'all for listening. I'm your host, Devon Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and the beautiful
Sinclair, aka
the Health Nerd. We hope y'all stay healthy. We hope y'all stay mentally wealthy. And of course, we hope y'all stay true.
True.